Alright, I wanted to show the new tool I made, JWL Tools for Revit for importing CSV points. Because right now the tools I've seen just kind of make you use Excel, go back and forth between Revit and Excel to keep tweaking stuff, and I figured you could make a box in Revit to do everything you need to do to get the points imported. So I also, the first thing I did was the show object info. Basically, it'll show you hard-coded parameters that I wanted to show for a selected object. That way you didn't have to go through all the parameters to find the parameters I wanted. So it'll just show like ID, fab part ID, service name, stuff like that. Just real short stuff I needed at the time. The other one is show object parameters. This will show all the parameters on the selected object. And you can see there's a lot of them. Basically, getting the tools working. That's the first thing to do is get it to show parameters on objects. It was nice and quick and easy, but the main point for this tool was to be able to import points off of a CSV file. So basically, first thing you got to make sure your CSV file doesn't contain a bunch of garbage. Instead of opening Office all the way, you can see right here, the first column is ID, second column is X, third column is Y, fourth column is Z, and then you have descriptions and layers. The X column is your easting coordinate, so that's your east-west coordinate. This is your Y, which would be your northern coordinate for north-south, and then of course Z is your elevation. So it looks like the file's good. Just a quick test file I put together. Go back to Revit and click on your tool. It'll open up this pop-up here. And in here you select the file you want to import. And you just double click the file. And that'll open up this pop-up box, which will show your file location, file name, and then the family you want to use to import the point to. I created a GTP point. So you select it, and over here it'll show you how many parameters in the family and list them. The XYZ are hard coded into the tool, because no matter what family you choose, you have to have a XYZ to import to. Basically, this box over here is just for information, just to show you what parameters are in the family. So you go to any of these and it'll show you all the built-in parameters, type parameters. But that's the point we're going to use. And then the next box here that you work in is where you assign parameters for each column. This gives you sample data from the CSV. You can see the first row is filled with good values. A lot of times when you import a CSV, it'll have headers in here that you can't use, and down the road I'll add a box to exclude the first row if it has headers. But right now the CSV file is good, so everything's good on that. And these boxes here, these are combo boxes, so you could select the parameter you want from the family you picked up here. You could select which parameter you want to write column, the first column to, and we know it's ID, so you go down to point ID and select it. The next one you could see where I put a spot coordinate on the project origin or the project base point so that you know what the coordinates look like. And you could see the easting, which is X, is 14805, 14805 here. So we know that the second column is going to be the easting coordinate, and we know the third column is going to be the northing coordinate, and that leaves the Z coordinate for that one. That's the elevation. Here you could put CP0 and CP1. That's for the description for the point. And you can see there's point description, point layer for the remainder, which that's just the way one of the files we have where I'm working came up with that. You don't really need it, but and then once you get them all set, you could save settings, and it'll save them to ctemp to this file name. That's hard coded in right now. Down the road, I'll probably add an option to so you can select where you want to save your settings to. And when you click import, it'll import from that same location. So it'll import your family, all your parameter choices, and all your family properties will be imported. So over here at family properties, you could change the line color to whatever color's here. Change the solid color. If your point has a solid in it, it'll change the color to whatever you select here. If it doesn't have a solid, it might cause an error. I'll have to check that. Your weight is for your line weight. Go to 10. Then you can select transparency and halftone, and that's your family properties you could change. This box here was made because when I first did this, it originally imported the points, adding these values to the project base or the project base origin, which took me a while to find out what was going on, but that's definitely not what we wanted. We want to import the points to where the CSV coordinates say. So I had to put this box in just in case somebody ever wants to add the points, add the coordinates to the project base origin. You would check that box. I don't know why you'd ever want to, but just in case. So now that everything's set, you could go import CSV data, and you get this new pop-up here, and this shows you how many points were imported and if there's any errors. And I'll show you what the errors look like on the second run we do here. But you see it imported the points there. Let me put a spot elevation on this, or spot coordinate. Snapping's kind of goofy. I don't know what's going on with that. Nope, that worked perfect. But you can see there, these are the coordinates for the first point, which is the first row on the CSV file. And if you go to the CSV file, you can see there the first row is 148,520 for the easting coordinate and 139,2570 for the northing coordinate. So you know everything worked there. And then CPO ID is 0, CPO and CP. If you click on the family, the GTP point, you'll see in here, go down to parameters, you can see the point description is CPO, point ID 0, point layer. Go to the next one, you'll see it change to 1 and 1, So you know it's right into the parameters. And if you click thin line, you see it fattened everything up, showed the actual line weight. So you see that works. Everything works good on that. And now we'll do it again with the error. See if we could throw some errors on some parameters here. And because the settings are saved, it opens up to those. And for here, we'll see if we could throw a length, because it'll throw an error. It'll do an error. Now there is no. Try level. So if it tries to write CPO to level, it should cause an error. And then in here, we'll put a goofy parameter. This parameter doesn't exist, so that should definitely cause an error. And then so got those selected, everything's good there. And you'll see here it caused an error writing level with CP0 because it's trying to write a text value into a number parameter. And the other one was trying to write CP to the goofy parameter, which doesn't exist, cause an error. So it'll tell you what errors on where it's happening in your CSV file. But most of the time, as long as you have the coordinates set good, it'll still import. Otherwise, it might import to 0, 0, 0. So if you ever import and you don't see them, that might be the issue there. And you can see now I don't have any transparency or halftone. That's what the points would look like. So anyways, that's the JWL Tools. Oh, there's the about box. In case I ever release it, it'll have some information there. But if you have any questions, you know how to get a hold of me. Thank you.